Hello, StarCraft fans! This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. This is a game between CranK and Barcode on Dusk Towers. In the bottom side of the map, we have the red Zerg player, it is Barcode. And in the top side of the map, we have the blue Protoss player, it is CranK, representing Ducky, as always, who has recently won a trophy as well in an online tournament for StarCraft 2. You too can win these trophies by participating in these tournaments. They are appropriate for your level. It is a single elimination tournament, so it doesn't take too long. And if you win, then you get a trophy like this. Okie doke, let's see how this is going to work out in this Grandmaster level game between CranK and an unknown Barcode. This could be anybody. This could be Hydra. This could be sort of. This could, I mean, he doesn't play like Barcode though. This could be Stefano. For all we know, I don't know. Barcodes are mysterious all the way around. Hatch first coming out here from Barcode. Nothing too insane. Hatch first into an extractor. Into a spawning pool is what I would assume because it's a Nexus first from CranK. I'm not going to say he's taking a page out of Petit Drogo's book, but man, Petit Drogo has definitely been doing that in the recent past. Going Nexus first on this map just because you can wall this off. It's safe to do so. The Zerg is likely going to go, whoa, at least for hatch first, and even possibly a 2-hatch before gas, before spawning pool build. Yeah, Barcode, I'm liking your moxie. Going for the 3-hatch. Now, we're going to see how long he delays his spawning pool. That's how we know how much moxie he really has. Making more and more drones. He has 20 supply, and nothing has started for a spawning pool yet. Does he know that CranK likes to do this build? Because CranK has no way of punishing this. He really doesn't. It makes an extractor first and then a pool. Alright, so I mean that's as greedy as you're going to see with a 3-hatch opener on this map right there. Barcode is going for all of it. He wants to try to out-macro CranK. He wants to make this into the game that he feels comfortable in doing, and having these 3 hatches out are really going to help him immensely. That Nexus is going to finish very quickly and about the same time as this hatchery, but man, that third base is going to help a lot. So, can CranK get some units out here and actually maybe shut this down is going to be the question. We will have to wait and see. Zealot on the way from CranK. Perhaps worried about some early lings that could really ruin his day, but you know, no, because that spawning pool is not even finished yet. No lings are coming across the map anytime soon. CranK, rest your worried little head. Zealot on the way, cybernetics core popping out, and this is always the important, the interesting and important thing is when the cybernetics core pops. What are we going to get afterwards? Immediately going to make a Stargate opener from CranK. I like this. I like the Stargate opener. Offer the Nexus first. Get in there, get some harassment in. Hope that your Zerg opponent is just droning up like a madman, is not worrying about too many queens, not worrying about static defense. Get in there with some Phoenix or some Oracles and really wreck house. However, there are 3 queens on the way, so not forgetting any of those. The question is, if you get more than that, like a Zerg player that has 5, 6, 7 queens in the early game, really good against these Stargate openers that Protoss tend to favor. We'll see if this queen production continues. Right now, it's just some lings and some metabolic boost on the way for Barcode. CranK is getting his own mothership core and perhaps maybe going to try to take a 3rd here soon. I mean, hey, it's almost 4 minutes into the game. This is Legacy of the Void. You might as well have a 3rd by now, I suppose. The lings are heading out for Barcode. I'm not sure what they're going to be able to accomplish, as again, there is a Zealot here, but they could very well scout that Stargate, but I think the Overlord might catch a glimpse of it. No, the Overlord doesn't see it. How about this one? How about that Overlord? Come on, man. One of you guys. Oh, they see it. They see the Stargate. At the same time, the Phoenix pops out and starts killing the Overlord. So, I mean, the mystery was not much of a mystery there. The Lings do take down that probe. Looking in a bit of trouble here is CranK. Wants to take that 3rd. The Ling positioning too good from Barcode to let that happen. Speed just about to finish to turn those from slow Lings, which are the worst units in the game, to fast Lings. 10 drones on the way. Woo! 10 drones at once for Barcode. That income tab is right now 45 to 41. 49 to 41. Thank you very much. Taking the lead there. Keeping CranK on 2 bases, but supply blocked fairly severely as well. Yikes. So can't make anything for a while now. Waiting for these Overlords to pop. The Queen's ready to go. Again, no static defense. I have had some discussions in the comments of my videos about this, and it just seems even if you lose a couple workers, it's better to lose those workers and then throw down a spore than throw the spore down now, just for economic reasons. Okay, Barcode's getting 1 spore and 1 spore and 1 spore. Alright, so he actually subscribes to my way of thinking, which I can't argue with as it is my way of thinking. Lings in here actually trying to kill that probe. Can they get it? Yes, another probe kill. Nice snipes by these Lings, and not one of them have died. Is that still 6? No, that's 5. Okay, 1 has died. One has died. Can these take down the queen? They take down the queen. 3 Phoenix enough to take down a queen pretty darn quickly. They can't do anything about this creep spread, though. They bet they wish they could. But they can't, because they can affect buildings. And technically, creep tumors are structures. More Overlord deaths possible here. Run! Run to the safety of the Spore Crawler. Nope. Oh, man, these Phoenix are putting in work for Crank. More Overlords dying. Another supply block on Barcode. He's just now getting his Roach Warren. He's getting his Lair. That's going to wrap up fairly soon here, too. Crank was able to get his 3rd base, and now Crank is actually kind of halting the 4th base attempt that Barcode might be going for, except for the fact that he's been so darn supply blocked throughout this game. Hydralisk Den coming up here, too. All right, going to look good with the Hydras and the Lurkers. How can Crank handle this one? That is going to be remaining to be seen here. Twilight Council coming up. There's that 3rd base. Good transfer of workers at 63 to 52 harvesters in favor of Barcode. Still, the Phoenix. Oh, an Adept play here, too. Phoenix Adept. Another Queen gonna get sniped down, and no, does manage to survive. A full pull of drones, though. 24 Lings on the way. Speedlings trying to get a surround on these Adepts. The drones force a fight for their lives as well. Spore Crawlers getting shots off. More Lings coming in. A pretty good full surround here. That Queen gets sniped on down by the Phoenix, rather. Can the Adepts hang on here against this many Lings? It looks like they can, actually. Wow, these Adepts are doing very well despite having no upgrades at all. That was not enough Lings to do this. 28 Lings this time. 28 Lings in production for Barcode with this base defense. Losing stuff. But in the end, I think Barcode may be okay because these Adepts were not cheap either. Resources lost tab. Ooh, 1,900 to 1,100. So almost 2 to 1 there. Resources lost. Crank's been doing very well with those Phoenix, with those Adepts. A bit of a surprise attack there. Barcode did not see that coming, despite the fact that he had Lings ready to go. So, Anyway, 3 base up, 3 base to 3 base. Crank has to feel very comfortable at this point. He's getting a Templar Archives. He's getting Charge. And some first Hydras popping out now with a Muscular Augments upgrade, increasing their attack speed. Nope, their attack range and their speed off creep. That's what it is. My brain just heard attack and speed and went for that, but that is incorrect. It does not increase their attack speed at all because it's already really darn fast. Actually here, let's see. Hydra attack speed is 0.54. Woo! Dead fast. Phoenix still flying around. Again, the presence of the Spore Crawler not doing a whole lot against these Phoenix. Wow. Have any Phoenix died? I don't know because I can't tell with my units lost in this interface, but I don't feel like any have. It's been 5, right? I think it's been 5 this entire time, and they have killed a lot of stuff. Income tab 64 to 66. Crank was ahead for a second there. The Barcode actually pulled into the lead 69 to 66. Ling's trying to do stuff. That's a lot of Zealots. And Zealots aren't actually that good against Hydras unless, I guess, they are right up on the Hydra's faces, which is a possibility. Phoenix running around here too. These Zealots heading on out, and here come the Hydras. This is going to be a straight Hydra push. Oh man, Phoenix, do not be here. Do not be here. Hydras are your worst enemy. You are faster than them. And you can fly, so never engage directly with Hydras. It's just like how you never want to engage directly with Marines. Just a bad feeling. Lurker Den on the way. Archon's coming up here too. So a Zealot Archon push from Crank. Haven't seen one of these for a while. Zealot Archon Phoenix. Again, the Phoenix very good in situations where you need to lift up Lurkers and get them out of the battle. More creep spread happening here from Barcode, which is so important because no Protoss player wants to walk onto creep if they can help it when they're attacking. The farther out this creep is, the more they have to clear out to make things happier for them. So here come the Zealots. +1 attack is there for them and the Archons, giving them 39 damage versus a biological. Glial Reconstitution coming up, +2 missile attacks coming up. Crank moving on in with this Zealot Archon push with the Phoenix 2. Are there enough units to defend for the Zerg player? I don't know. This base is under a lot of pressure right now. All these drones are going to die except the ones that do manage to run away. The Hydras, the Lurkers are not quite morphed in yet. The 4th base does get taken down. Pushing in for round 2 is Crank. 178 to 157 total supply. A lot of these Zealots are getting destroyed, lifting a few of the Hydras here, actually not putting it onto the Lurkers. Surprisingly enough, the Roach Hydra Ball is chasing this army away. Crank has more reinforcements coming in. More Zealots trying to make this thing happen with the charge. Oh, but the Lurker positioning is really good here too. The Lurker stabbing on in, finally getting lifted up. Getting lifted up by the Phoenix, nicely done. So pretty good stutter step here from Barcode too. There are still some Lurkers here, but the Zealots right in the Hydra's faces, absorbing a lot of their damage. The Hydra sniping down an Archon, more Archons dying, another one just standing right on all these Lurkers that somehow managed to survive despite the lifts on those Phoenix. And the Mothership Tor 2 is going to get sniped on down. She is just so slow. Recall! Recall! No, doesn't get the recall just at the last possible second does get sniped down. It's 150 to 83 total supply. The Phoenix are a bit out of position here to defend against this because here comes Barcode replanting that fourth base. How are the upgrades? That +2 missile attack, immensely important in that final battle. More Templar coming on in here, but is there anything left here for CranK? I don't know. Immortal getting eaten alive. Can it survive? No, that's the GG. The GG from CranK. CranK is defeated, Barcode's victorious, and CranK has left the game. Yeah, again, I know I've said this before, but that's why we don't see many Zealots in StarCraft 2. They just don't do well, especially against Zerg. Hydras, Roaches, Lurkers do very well against them. Adepts are generally better in most situations, but man, today, CranK tried out, experimented a bit with the Zealot Archon push and did pretty well for himself. It's just he wasn't able to take out the Lurkers. Did he have an Observer with him at the time? Yeah, he did, because he was lifting them. He was lifting them with the Phoenix, and you have to see them to lift them. But I wonder, Barcode might have sniped that thing down, because, man, when that dust cleared and there were 5 or 6 Lurkers just sitting there with the Archon in the middle of them, the Archon couldn't see them. That was a bad look. That was bad, bad times for the Archon. He got absolutely massacred. And in the end, the units lost. Barcode 7,800 resources lost, and CranK 8,100. So that tells the story. CranK was up 2-1, ends up losing the resources lost battle entirely to a Zerg, and that usually ends up resulting in a loss. So again, base was equivalent. I loved CranK taking care of that fourth base. That was excellent. I think maybe it might have been better for him to pull out just a little bit, maybe wait for more Archons, wait for some Storm, possibly on the Templar if that was going to be a possibility, because man, when he pushed up that ramp and all the Hydras and all the Lurkers were there, it was just rough. It was really rough for CranK. He pulled back, tried to go for it again, but again, the Lurker count was just a little bit too high, and he tapped out. So, that's it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter and Facebook, both at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.